Welcome back, my dear students. Today we are going to talk about the in culture. We'll talk today about the linguistics in culture, because language is one of the basics or the pillars of any culture. So we have to care about the language and the linguistics as well. So now the screen is shared. I guess we guess yeah. We will share the screen and we will watch. This together we will watch what we are going to talk about the language and the linguistics and the importance of language in the culture, because it's one of the components of the culture. The language is one of the components of the culture. So uh, let me go to some points about the linguistics. Linguistics is the scientific study of human language. From linguistics from language. Socio linguistics, descriptive study of aspects of a society, and on its effect on how language is used and how the language shapes particular societies. So this is the difference between linguistics and sociolinguistics. The language which is related to our society, this is a sociolinguistics. Phonemes, smallest unit of sound that when standing along have no meaning until grouped together uh, to form a word. It's like one letter, like it's called phoneme. When there are many phonemes together, they configure one word. Okay, morpheme, smallest unit of sound that can stand alone and carry a meaning. And this is another point. Variation in pronunciation is very common among a particular language users group. So, like you see now, the Filipinos when they talk English, the Indonesians when they talk English, the Pakistanis when they talk English, the Indians when they talk English, everyone is having his own accent. Okay, okay. Uh, Even the North Americans and the South of Americans, they have their own accent and dialect, local dialect of how they pronounce the English. Uh, if there is a superior one, it is superior accent or dialect. There is a superior dialect. Contrary to the stereotype that most people believe, there is no scientific evidences of pronunciation is linked to intelligence. Okay, why do we have these stereotypes or misguided beliefs about various linguistics groups? So, the linguistics relativism recognize all known dialects and languages are equally effective means of communication. Any type of accent, dialect, but it's a type of communication as long as it's a type of communication. Look at me now. I'm talking with a Mediterranean dialect in English, and some people are hearing me from some places, some different places in the world. So all is having his own dialect, but we are common, understanding each other. I understand you, and you understand me as well. What is happening to the languages and their accompanying cultures around the world? So, because we say languages are bonded to culture, it's a part of the culture. So, we'll see. Have you ever wondered which languages are easier to learn than others? Did you ask yourself which language would be easier for me to learn? What languages do you think that they are the hardest? Let's see what did the professional says. Please watch out those two videos. Then we'll see what the professional people say about the languages. Language use and status. A language cannot confer a differential advantage for a speaker. No, it won't give better advantages. This is done by the society group that speaks the language. Okay. English has status in many parts of the world because of colonization. Because England has its colonies everywhere, so a big part of the world is talking English. How does colonization affect the language choice of a colonized population? Let's go to pronunciations differences based on social class. Bilingualism, bilingualism of ethnic group like monolingualism and polyglot and creoles and pigeons. So creoles developed from two parents languages mixing. Those are the people like the Canadian borns from two immigrants. The father is immigrated to Canada, and the mother immigrated to Canada. And they have a kid. This kid is Creolus, developed from two parents' language mixing, share grammatical similarity with parents' language, nativized by children at their primary language due to prolonged generation exposure, arose because of trade and colonialism starting 500 years approximately ago. So those are styles also. Shifts occur based on social needs, and we have the glossa, use two or more dialects of the same language. It's called the glossa, Diglossa. Happens, this happens frequently in Europe, in Italy, because Italy is full of dialects, can be hard to understand others from other villages. A lot of dialects in Italy. German, high and low Germans, English, like the difference between the British and the Americans in the pronunciation of English and some meanings of the words. Same thing. So this is the diglossia. What are the factors which influence speech? What are those factors that influence speech? Geography, the area. You find some places in the world which they call it manner of articulation. Some places of the world, the ph they cannot pronounce it fe, they pronounce it pe. Some other places, w, they pronounce it v. The culture, the culture of a specific area, this influences the speech as well. So culture influences speech. Socioeconomic status, and we say most of the cultural points are socioeconomic because, and we always bind the social into economic situations, both of them together. What are some examples of the above? Can you give examples of the above, please? Let's go for that. Gender. So gender means what? Women and men. This is the meaning of gender. Women tend to speak in a style closer to the standard form of the language, as examples. So if you say who will talk the best, like who will be a good talker, like he will talk the as supposed to be, use less vernacular, use less profanity, use more emotive, charged language. Uh, like as example, they say, just so this is so lovely. You look absolutely uh, nice in this dress. So like that way. Women's talk is always with a passion. Men tend to use much more slang. Will use double negative. Use harsher words to describe feelings, experiences. tend not to be as colorful with their verbal descriptions or explanations, tend so say less to convey the same idea, tend to say less to convey the, don't talk too much about to convey the idea, adapt working class speech overall. Okay, how about the body language? And this is also very important because body language is things that's very common in the whole world. It's a universal lecture, like it's known in every place in the world about the body language. Women tend to look at each other when speaking. Okay, men tend not to maintain eye contact, seen as weak or feminine. So men do not keep eye contact always like women. Women keep eye contact when they talk with each other. Women tend to have better posture when is mixed crowd. Okay. Men will get comfortable and get into relaxed position. How about the linguistics superiority? We hold higher esteem for standard forms of a language. We consider some accents to be less than or inferior, thus the speakers to be less than or inferior in status. The way we speak, by the way, the way we speak defines our collective and where we came from or where we come from. Uh, in this page,